Darian, CEO of Bobacino, and joining me is our newly announced Chief Boba Officer, Stacey.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Darian. Welcome to Tapioca Talk. This is going to be a series that covers everything Bobacino related, from company culture to updates and everything in between.
Yeah, and we're going to use this forum to address many different things in terms of product updates, community concerns, anything along those lines to make sure that we are keeping an open channel with all our followers.
So today's episode is going to cover two very important topics that have spurred community discussion over the last couple months and weeks, and it's honestly something that we've been thinking about since, well, the inception of Bobacino.
Yeah, and that discussion is really plotted into two main camps. The first is the team's composition and diversity, and the second one is the role automation and robotics play with small business owners, specifically the Boba industry.
Yeah, so again, these are two really important things that we just want to discuss today, and yeah, let's get into it.
So I'll just come out and say it. There have been very valid concerns that people think that I'm just a white CEO trying to appropriate Asian culture by, squeezing into the Boba industry and taking advantage of the growing business. Yeah, it's true. I'm white, but my experience really comes at the intersection of food and automation, where I've spent the last dozen years or so. My previous company was a company called Truebird. It was a coffee and automation kiosk. And before that was in the meat industry and indoor farming, and really my experience and contribution comes into play with the intersection of both food and automation. Working on both coasts in New York and San Francisco, noticed that Boba was a very accessible treat to a culturally diverse community, but I wasn't seeing a whole lot in the middle of the country, and I wanted to change that. And so I brought together a team from varying backgrounds, but all experts in food and automation to help develop this product, to be able to not only work into a new and emerging space, but be able to help expand what has already been such a great community to so many people and get access to those communities more so.
Awesome. Well, I think the community is going to appreciate you explaining your side of things, because I know a lot of you were, commenting down below, it's a white CEO trying to appropriate Taiwanese culture, but yeah, he's a robotics nerd. So I'm the Boba nerd, and this is why we make a great team. So another thing that the community has a question about, or something that we've been seeing a lot, is if you're introducing robotics into the Boba space or the Boba culture, isn't that taking away from Taiwanese mom and pop shops or even Asian Boba shops in general?
Yeah, it's a good question, Stacey. And really what we're trying to do is not compete against those shops,
right,
but come alongside and work with those shops to help expand their own business. And so by selling or leasing these machines to those shops, we're helping them expand their footprint and their reach to get to more customers without the massive overhead of the capital costs of a brick and mortar shop. And so by utilizing that, we're able to work alongside with people and really find and satisfy those needs to help them just expand their business.
Yeah, as a Boba shop owner myself, I know it costs $200,000 to $300,000 just to open one store. So if we can bring an easier access or an easier way to open up a small business, I think the community is going to appreciate that.
So thank you for joining us today. We want this to be the first of many conversations as our newly founded Tapioca Talks, and we want to be doing this pretty regularly.
Yeah, so if you guys have any more questions, concerns, comments, just leave them down below, and we'll try to get to it on our next Tapioca Talk.
Thanks.
Bye.